Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the new Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Ken Garf Volkswagen here in Orem, Utah for giving me some time with this Atlas. This particular one is still available for sale, so if you're interested, I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out this and the rest of the inventory that they currently have. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 26 on the highway, with power outputs being a whopping 269 horsepower and then 273 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end of the new Cross Sport, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see that it's pretty much flat there in the center. We do have some distinctive body lines on either side, but the white paint kind of hides it. Now, popping down to the headlights, I really like the design. You guys can see with the daytime running light, notice how that goes across with the grille as well. So it gives it a super distinctive appearance at night. And overall, just, I love the new headlights design. I think they did a good job. Notice how it's blacked out down below. And then look at the coloration here for the grille. I think that all looks really sharp. And sorry about the flag waving over the car, but anyways, there is the full front end view. Let me know what you guys think. Now, coming on the side here, our tire wheel setup is 255, 50, 20 in the front and over in the rear. And you guys can see with the wheels, they are completely blacked out, which I think goes with the theme of this particular Atlas. And as you guys can see, unpainted fender flares, so that also goes with the blacked out theme. That continues along the side. We have our Cross Sport badge there. And then stuff like the mirror caps and the door handles are body painted. And then taking a look at the full side view here, this is where you can see the cool slope design there in the back, and it definitely gives you like Audi Q8 vibes, which I think is a great thing. Now here is the new key fob, obviously piano black, so it does kind of show smudge marks a little bit, but it has this nice like weighted feel to it, and it just looks a whole lot more premium compared to Volkswagen's prior key fobs. So you guys can see you've got lock and unlock, remote start, and we of course have the opening there for the hatch. Now, taking a look at the cargo area, you guys can see we've got a cargo cover built in from the factory, and we have a 12-volt here down below as well. And then if we actually lift this whole setup up, you guys can see the spare tire underneath as well. And yeah, I mean, this is massive back here. This is one of the things that people love about the Atlas, and specifically the Cross Sport as well, is you just have tons of cargo space. And when you're done, just press that button and that'll lower it down. Now, taking a look at the taillight design here, obviously kind of has that light bar effect just like what you have in the front Volkswagen logo there in the center. But yeah, it looks more modern compared to the previous taillight design. And you guys can see we've got stuff like parking sensors and then all of your badges here on the back too. And wrapping things up, again, this definitely, like in the Cross Sport package, just looks like the Volkswagen version of the Q8, which I think is really cool. Now, taking a look at the door panel, you guys can see we've got sunshades built in from the factory, and then look at this trim, and then also down below how it's perforated. Really nice appearance there, and it's got like tight fit and finish, just like what you see in Audis. And then taking a look at the seats, you can see that theme continues perforated all down the center. You've got like this carbon fiber design there on the side. That's also really cool. And then when it comes to space, I mean, it is massive back here. We also have a little storage pocket, some vent action, got some charging ports down below, and we have a cup holder armrest. That's the most important feature in a car. And then last but not least, headroom's good. Now, taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see soft touch here at the top, and then I love the trim that goes across, and then same design as what you have there in the back. All of our window controls, mirror adjustments, you got your door lock and unlock, and then the mirrors do have blind spot monitoring. And then the front seat continues that two-tone theme, as you can see. Again, it looks really fancy. All of your power adjustments here on the side, and then pretty normal looking pedal layout. And then we do have our light controls here off to the side, and then you can see here with the padding on the dash, and then it is soft touch there at the top. Now, taking a look at the steering wheel, you've got soft touch all around, and then you've got contrasted white stitching on the center. Paddle shifters there in the back for the 8-speed automatic transmission, and then practical controls here on the front, like our heated steering wheel button. You've got some controls for the center stack. You've got your cruise control here on the other side, volume controls in the steering wheel, and then your regular turn signal stock, and then windshield wiper stock. So here's a look at the full digital gauge cluster. I like the animations overall. I think they look really sharp here with this, and it's cool how you can kind of change what information this shows. As you can see, you can scroll through all of these different menus there on the side, which I think is kind of fun. You can do the same thing with the other gauge cluster as well. So I'd say super user-friendly and, again, just like the look. Now in reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, and you know, resolution's pretty good. Now, as for the rest of the infotainment system, this looks like it's super similar to what is in the new Volkswagen Golf R and GTI. So you've got like the climate kind of sliders down below, all of that. But it's easy to access everything. So you press that and this pulls up the whole climate tab. So even though it is built into the touchscreen, you can still access that really easily. And then there's a bunch of shortcut buttons down here, as you can see, for like the climate and then like your drive modes, for example. So I can press that and that'll let me go through the different drive modes. You can use the touchscreen or you can press the button. And I mean, yeah, this has like drive modes for everything. That's crazy. I kind of mentioned this before, but again, soft touch here at the top, and then you get to see with the rest of the dash. And I do want to mention, like, the fit and finish on this is really good, what I'm noticing. And then you can see the vents here, and again, I went over the shortcut button earlier. But we've got this trim piece that you can press back. Notice we've got like wireless phone charging pads, some USBs, and I guess Volkswagen likes piano black quite a bit because it's like all over the center console area. Stop start button, you guys can see the parking brake, and then this is like the little shifter in the new Porsche 911. It's the razor shifter, the shaver shifter is what I call it. You guys can see here with little parking brake, and then there's actually a ton of storage space underneath as well. And then in the center console, massive. And then I guess while we're on the topic of storage, glove box is also very big. And then finally up top, we've got these little like slider buttons here for the full panoramic sunroof. So it seems like they're trying to minimize like pressing. It's a lot of sliding in this car. So here's a quick look at our window sticker here for this Atlas Cross Sport. You guys can see all the standard equipment. There's quite a bit. Base MSRP is $42,555. Total MSRP is $46,911, which I think is really good considering all the equipment and the interior that this has. With that being said, let's see how it drives. Talk about visibility before we set off. You guys can see visibility over the hood, both the mirrors, do a blind spot monitoring, and then throughout the rest of the rear, and shaver shifter away. Very, very interesting. Now we're going to be going on a shorter drive with this because I'm also reviewing that Atlas, and frankly, other than the slight differences with the interior, right? This is a 2-row versus a 3-row, and then the exterior design change. They're going to drive the same. So I figure I'd spend more time with the 3-row because I'm going to be comparing that to a Mazda CX-90 today. But outside of logistics and all of that, let's quickly talk about how this Cross Sport drives for those of you that are only interested in the Cross Sport variant of the Atlas. So first off, seat comfort's amazing. I really do like these new seats. They've got really good padding on them, and like I kind of said about during the walk around, is it seems like Volkswagen's improved the fit and finish on their cars by a very large margin. This feels like a much better built vehicle compared to previous Volkswagens. And aside from that, ride's really comfortable with it as well. So I think that that's a big positive. And steering's really light. Yeah, so that's great. And the transmission's quick. So I think that's good. So again, I know it's really short drive, but just trust me, we'll have like a full drive. Yeah, I love how much torque this has. But yeah, we'll have a full drive with the 3-row version. But aside from that, yeah, suspension, like going over bumps and everything, it seems like the damping's really good. So I think they've done a good job with that as well. Yeah, the steering's great. I think that's the thing I'm the most impressed with, frankly, is just like how direct, but then how also like light the steering is. Okay, so to kind of sum things up here with the Atlas, I just want to do kind of one more quick little circle here with this. Yeah, the transmission's so snappy. Just so I can make sure I have like decent impressions for you guys. Again, I'll have better impressions once I'm able to do the other one. Anyways, ride quality's good. Seat comfort's great. The 2-liter, I mean, I know people are kind of complaining about these 2 liters in this segment because Toyota has a, well, not 2-liter, but the 4 cylinders in this segment because Toyota has a 4-cylinder, the new Grand Highlander and the regular Highlander and all that. But I'll say, I mean, it feels like it's enough power for this particular type of vehicle. So no complaints from me on that. And yeah, I think that Volkswagen's done a really good job. This feels more like a luxury vehicle, frankly. It seems like I don't know if this is true, but it seems like Volkswagen's gotten a lot more from Audi with this compared to previous vehicles. Like, it's got Volkswagen's infotainment system and their gauge cluster and all that kind of stuff, but I can tell there's a lot of Audi influence with, like, the build quality and all of that stuff. So let me know what you guys think about the new Cross Sport. And again, if you want better driving impressions, all that type of stuff in the new Atlas, just stay tuned for the review on the 3-row.